What's going on, guys? Wait for some people to get in here. Make sure it's all working. I'm expecting we're probably not going to have a huge turnout because everybody should be partying in Chicago about this time. But we'll see. Paul, what's up, man? We got Herbert, obviously. Herbert, man, I hope you're right. I really do. I'm not holding my breath, though. So we'll wait until a couple of people get in here and we'll get going. The good news is they're not all already out. So we do have a little bit of suspense, which is nice. All right, let's go ahead and get started with that then. That's fine. All right, let's go ahead and put in the egg cam here. What? They can barely hear it. All right. Oh, cool, up to 14. All right, guys, so this is, if you haven't been paying attention, this is probably the longest odds clutch that we have of the entire year, other than some dreamsicle attempt that we did, but it's the only ones that we've paired that I'm not 100% sure on. So we got a butter possible het sunset from Tim Thompson at the Servant Chamber. That one he produced, so he is 66%. Let me grab him, I'll show you and see what you think. I don't know if there's any markers, so to speak, for het sunset. It's not something I've been really focused on getting heavy into, but so this is him. So this is a butter 66% het sunset that Tim produced. I mean, it looks like every other butter I've noticed, but maybe some more brighter golden sides, you know, just overall brighter complexion. So hopefully we'll see if that turns into something. And then the reason, so that's 66% het. The reason that these odds are super long is the female is a proven breeder, meaning that she's produced eggs before that were viable for Tim, but she was sold as a pos het, I think a 50%, and he put a 66% to her and didn't get any sunsets, but 3 of the eggs went bad. So he only had 1 or 2 hatch, I think, something like that. So I explained to people that she's a proven breeder, if that makes sense. So this is her Pinstripe possible het sunset, I believe 50%, if I remember correctly. You know, she's got a little bit more color. She's definitely brighter than most pins I've seen. My other pin that I had was not nearly this bright. She was a lot darker. So, you know, it might mean something. Tim Thompson is, let me make sure. Yeah. Tim was, he's fairly confident that she'll prove, but, you know, like I said, who knows? So anyway, butter possible het sunset to pin possible het sunset. Laid 7 good ones, and they all made it, it looks like. So we'll take a crack at it. Hope for the best here. So the good news is we actually get to cut some. They are starting to pip finally. We did have one head out right here, but he went back in. This one's cut, and that looks like it. So we're right on schedule, at least for getting them going here. All right. Fingers crossed, everyone. Paul, you say 2. Herbert said 2 in the beginning. Yeah, and Herbert's got a good point here. The odds are one will be het and one won't, and obviously we'll have no way of knowing which is which. So we'll go ahead and start up here at the top, the one that already started pipping a little bit. Let's see if we can get anything out of these. Let me brighten this up a little bit for you. There we go. Okay, here we go. Obviously, the best of the best would be a butter pin sunset, which I've not seen made, but I can only imagine that would look pretty cool. The first one here is a really bright butter. No sunset in that one. There's the nose over here, it looks like. Okay, so butter possible het. That's the other problem too. If I don't produce any, they're not necessarily 50 or 66% or anything else until I know otherwise. So they're just possible het, I guess, in this case. Seven chances on het to het. We should get, if they are both het, we should get at least one, if not two. This one's a little bit full, so this one needed another day or two probably, so it's gonna make a little bit of a mess. There we go. I'll be ecstatic with one. Two would be incredible. This one's a pinstripe. Oh. That one's a pin. Looks good. No het there, or no sunset there. This is a little egg, a tiny one. It's pretty pressurized still too. I figure another day or two, all of these would have been opened up and on their way out. So we're right on day 58 here, and we had one's head out and 3 pips, so I think we're good to go for trying it out. Okay. Another pinstripe here, looks like. Obviously, we'll know the sunset because it'll be much reduced pattern, a lot brighter, more orange, that kind of thing. So that's what we're looking for. 4S's, you think that first butter is het, or you think that the sire is het? Sunset. What do you think? Oh. This is the one that it was already pipped and had his head out when we started. That's a butter, and if I were a betting man, I would say that's a butter het sunset. Not having made any sunsets, obviously, or any hets in particular, I would bet you that's a butter het sunset. That's super orange in the belly and whatnot. Paul, you think the first egg is het sunset? All right. There's another one that was pipped. There's another pin. There it goes. That one's got quite a bit of orange in the sides too. So, you know, if I was going to try to pick het markers for sunset, there's a couple in here that definitely stand out. Which, if that's the case, obviously means, like you guys said, at least one of them is het. Whether it's the male or not. Tim was fairly adamant that he thought that the male was going to turn out to be 100%. So, Cuddle Time, thanks for checking in. What's up? So you're calling 6 egg as a sunset. Well, that's this one. So, and this one's still pretty pretty puffy, so this is gonna squirt a bit too. Well, no sunset on that one. Another butter. I don't want to screw with it too much. That one's still pretty early. That one probably needs another day or two. Must have got just on the right edge of that vein there. Usually you miss the veins on this shell. Okay, guys. Last but not least. Let's see. So, Paul, you think all the butters are het so far? The only problem with that is I don't want to put them together because that would make, obviously, a white snake. I wonder if sunset would show up in a bell. It's an interesting thought. And last but not least is a normal. How funny. I thought we were going to get away with no normals in this one, but last one's a normal. So no sunsets in this one. There's a few in here that look fairly promising, though. So that's, it's tough because sunset's not something I'm crazy wound up about, as we're trying to kind of refocus our plans here a little bit. So I'll kind of do a quick review here, see what you think. So we got a butter, this possible het. I think it's pretty bright. That back looks really bright. We got a pin, possible het. Got another pin. This one's pretty clean. Pretty clean and bright on that one. And a third pin. Come on. There we go. Third pin, possible head. This one's got a pretty orange sides and belly too. And then another butter. This was the one that really caught my attention. The orange is in that one. And another butter. This one may be twisted up, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. And then the normal, which, if I were to guess, does not look het to me at all. No butter pins. Yeah, how weird is that? Yeah, we got 3 butters, 3 pins, and a normal, but no butter pins. Very bizarre. Yeah, this one down here. This one I'm not quite sure on yet, so we'll keep an eye on him. But the rest of them look good. Like I said, there's a couple in there that look fairly promising. I just got to decide if I'm going to stay in the sunset game or not. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so K3, what does possible het mean? So the simplest way I can put it is when you're breeding a recessive, if you're not using all visuals in that, every egg has a chance to be carrier. That's what we mean by het, heterozygous, which means in the case of a recessive, it's carrying that gene. It's not visually expressing it like with a clown or a pied. And so when you're using hets, ones that are carriers, the ones that do not come out visual, they all have an equal chance to be het. So, and that's why we say they're possible, because they either are or they are not. So when you see the numbers 66% pos het or 50% pos het, that just means that that egg in particular has a 1 in 3 chance, or a 2 in 3 chance, or a 50-50 chance, or whatever, of being 100% het. It can't be possible. It either is or is not. But until you breed it to find out, it has to be listed as possible. So since this pairing was a possible het to a possible het, had we hit a visual, then I would know that both parents are 100% carrier, obviously, but that would make all of the babies 66. So every one of the hatchlings has a 66% chance of being 100% het and carrier. Since we didn't hit any visuals, and I don't know for certain if one or either or both are actual 100% carriers, I have to just list them as possible right now because I can't even assign them a percentage value because I have no way of knowing what that would be. Hope that makes sense. I actually have K3. If you go over to my Instagram page on one of like the pinned stories, I have a really simple explanation on how that works if you want to check it out. Xylo, Jack locked with your Sterling Lesser. Oh, cool, man. Awesome. I'm glad he's going to work out for you. That's great. Really nice clown female you had posted. Just the normal clown? I'll show you. I guess you said, yeah, you said female. We've only got clown females. Everything else. We got slayed on this GHI clown clutch as far as sex odds are concerned. We hit exactly the odds on number of clowns we should have got. We got 4 clowns and 4 het clowns, but we hit 6.2 on the sex odds. We got absolutely destroyed. So the only females we got were these 2 visual clowns. And this one in particular is really nice. It's super reduced. I've had a couple people tell me that they think that my clown female is possibly Blade. I don't know enough about Blade to speak intelligently on that, but that's the one clown, that's the reduced girl. And then we had another pretty nice clown female, but obviously not nearly as reduced. This is much more of what I would consider a classic or a traditional clown. But you can see the difference. Like this is almost enchy. It's really nicely the way it's pulled together. So she's actually on hold already. She's been reserved. The other one's still available. The GHI clown has been reserved, but this guy right here, this is the holy grail, so to speak. It's exactly what we were shooting for, but obviously we wanted a female, and this is a male. But as the ability to breed in 12, 18 months, this could be huge for somebody's collection, a GHI Mojave clown. And despite what all the misinformation going around in the last many weeks, GHI and Mojave are not allelic. This will produce normals and GHIs and GHI Mojaves and everything. So it's just a good option. It gives you some great stuff to work with, but it is not allelic. So I just love the way this guy came out. Of all the GHI Mojave clowns I've ever seen, this one is the most heavily patterned, but it's got just really nice separation in the colors and the sides, and just really soft. I really like this a lot. I wish it was a female because we'd have kept her, but if it's something you guys are interested in, we can do a kind of like a pre-sale hold on it until we get them eaten. But yeah, good clutch overall. I just wish the sex odds would have been a little better. But yeah, that's gonna do it for tonight, you guys. Real quick one here. I don't know about the rest of you, but I got to go back to watching Squid Game. Apparently that's like the thing. So I got onto that. Let me check a couple of these comments real quick, make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see, 4 S's. I'll be pairing a blackhead het sunset to 2 lesser pos hets next year as long as the females are precise. That would be, if it's 100% to 66s. So you got pretty good odds. There's actually decent odds that both of those girls will be visual or 100% het. So that'll be sweet. You'll have to let me know how that goes. Bishops, thank you. Let's see. Have you done a highway or freeway project? I do have I have freeway projects for this coming season. It'll be the first First time we've paired for him. We have a really cool 4 gene, I think it is, freeway male. And I've got now 4 or 5 girls, yellow belly females to put to it. So sadly, we're going to have to play the asphalt yellow belly game and make it hybrids, but we got a chance to make a lot of really cool freeways this coming year with a bunch of different stuff in them. Do you need a picture of the blade class? Yeah, please do. I'd be interested. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for hanging out. No sunset, sadly. I do think one of them is. We could have just missed, but realistically, out of 7 eggs, we should have got at least 1 if they were both het. I may or may not try this again next year. I'm not after, because like I said, Tim has paired this girl once with a pos het as well, and so I think I'm not confident that she's a het sunset. He probably is, because there's some of those babies look pretty promising. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. Make sure you're subscribed, check everything out. We're going to do an update on clutch 6 and 7 now, although you just saw most of clutch 7. But I still got to make the clutch 6 video. That one's going to be really interesting. And then next week on the 14th is our next clutch, and that one is hypo stuff, if I remember correctly. So we'll be here for that one, and I'll see you then.